Thanks for downloading another segment from the Best of the Classic Metal Show. The Classic Metal Show is heard live on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. And now here's another piece of Classic Metal Show history on the Best of the Classic Metal Show.
The Classic Metal Show.
From the Erase the Slate release, that is a bonus track.
Hey, you can't play that here.
Sure I can.
That was only meant for our Japanese listeners.
Shh. It was a bonus track.
I know, but you're stealing it.
How's that stealing?
Because you're providing it to the Americans that don't deserve that track.
Oh, yeah, well, if you're ripping the show stream, just edit that part out, will you?
Wheezy, erase that one.
All right, well, on the phone with us, speaking upon your lips,
okay.
it's our good friend, our good buddy, Scott Clark.
Good buddy. Hey.
What's going on, Scott?
Oh, man, I'm back in the land of cowboys and Indians, finally. Or as we like to call it, Rocketland.
Out in the Dust Bowl.
Out in the Dust Bowl, that's right. It's not very dusty tonight, though. Once again, you guys called, and we're in the midst of a big storm. Doesn't that figure?
Well, you know, the Classic Metal Show is a force to be reckoned with in itself, and just the fact that it conjures up storms out there in the Midwest, not surprising.
Every time.
Not surprising.
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Dark Prince and whatever his sidekick's name is. Rev Head or whatever.
No, it's Jake Rosenthal.
Jake Rosenthal.
That's what he calls himself now.
Isn't that no, that's Simon Rosenthal I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he calls himself Jake Rosenthal now. That's his radio name as opposed to Wes JQ's.
Why doesn't he just call himself Dickhead? I can't say that, can I?
Because he's got us to say that.
Oh, okay.
Well, Scott, Chris and I we enjoy the friendship that we have with you, Scott, but I'm going to be very blunt and honest here with you.
Okay, I'm ready.
We cannot for the life of us understand the lifestyle of a Scott Clark. You go from Enid to Ohio, back to Enid, back to Ohio, now you're back in Enid again. What is going on there? Can you explain that without having to be too personal?
Money. Does that sum it up?
Is there good money in Enid?
Well, there was good money in Ohio. There's still good money in Oklahoma. But the guys that took over the station for me here in Oklahoma screwed it up.
Okay.
So I had to come back and fix it.
I see.
I mean, it's like I was your first, as you call it, terrestrial radio station to carry the Classic Metal Show.
True.
And you're coming back because those bozos took you off.
Right. Well, they don't know good programming when they hear it.
Well, hold on for 1 minute. I would like to dispute that, though, Scott. When you left, I pulled the show. I don't know if they intended to or not, but I stopped sending them the show. So let's
well, that may explain it.
Let's just be clear here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you didn't tell me that.
I told you that a long time ago. Our loyalty was to you, not to 104.7.
Oh well, I must have fallen asleep twice since you told me that.
Well, Scott,
that's all I can think of.
I got to ask you. I know that you went to Ohio for the purpose of engineering some radio stations and some TV stations down there.
Yeah.
Was that going to be like a full-time gig, or was that just a part-time deal until the job was done, or how did that work out?
It's supposed to be a part-time deal until the job was done.
I see.
But it never got done.
So you're a man in demand to where you have to go across country to do a job that no one else will take or no one else can do?
Gosh, a little of both, really. Mostly it's being able to have the license to do what some of these terrestrial and radio and TV stations need.
I see.
And I have that license.
Ah.
and most of us are dying out, and there's not very many of us that have those licenses anymore. I got an awful lot of work whenever all the TV stations switched to high def.
Right.
Because people from France were coming over and installing the equipment, but they had to have an American engineer sign off on the paperwork. And so I got an awful lot of work Chris, you know about it because you and I talked quite a bit while I was up in Ohio.
Sure.
You know, that I'd fly, to Tennessee, or I'd fly to North Carolina, or I'd fly to Florida, or even down to Texas, just for a day or so, and fly back.
Right.
To Ohio. And speaking of Chris, Neely, have you ever eaten with him?
Yeah, I've taken Chris out to dinner on numerous occasions.
Yeah.
He took me to, what was that, a Denny's?
A Denny's or something, yeah.
Yeah, in some, little town outside of Cleveland. And, this guy doesn't even use forks or knives or spoons or anything. He just kind of dips his head into the food and goes after it. It was embarrassing.
They serve your food in a trough, Chris?
It was no less embarrassing than Scott putting his teeth in the cup next to him so he could gum his applesauce. Jesus Christ.
I knew there was going to be. And this car. Where did he get this car? He told me he got it from you, Neely.
Well, yeah, that was my cast-off. He felt it was a worthy item to, have for his main transportation, so he took it off my hands.
Oh, it kind of looked like hell, but, man, it really flies.
Well, it's been in a couple of wrecks, right, Chris?
Just one.
One big one?
Yeah, one. Not that big. Come on, it's a dent. Slight dent. Well, Scott, I got to ask you about that license, though, man. I mean,
okay.
Ultimately, that is why you get the jobs, is because you have this license that so few people have. But I have wondered, I don't think I've ever even asked you when we've talked off the air, why did they stop issuing this license after the Depression?
Because during the Reagan administration,
yeah.
I mean, that's going back quite a ways.
Yep.
They decided at that time that stations no longer had to have full-time engineers on duty, and that there was enough of them around that had the license that they could take care of stations.
Right.
And then during the Bush administration, the first Bush, they had a mixed commission of both Democrats and Republicans in there.
Okay.
And they came back and they said, no, stations have to have a licensed engineer to do all of the technical work and to certify that it will run without an engineer on duty. And they kept thinking, well, there's still enough of these engineers out there to take care of things because technology is going to change so fast, that at some point it'll come to the the fruition that you don't have to have a licensed engineer to do this work anymore. Well, it hadn't worked out that way. There's less than 200 of us left, and I'm like the youngest one, and I'm 106.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go in there with your cane and just poke around with,
oh man, you're telling on me.
Well, somebody's got to.
Yeah,
well, let's get enough of this. You're boring the audience to death, Scott. Let's get to the real stuff.
Yeah, I hear that snoring back there. Don't put me to sleep either. Well, you asked. Let's talk about rock and roll. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame and what a rip-off that is.
Yeah, no, you did visit it while you were here. I'm sure you were impressed.
Well, I did get to do a show with Dusty Street at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on Sirius Channel 14 for 1 hour.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
It's awful nice.
Yeah.
But the guy that I went in with, I got an award while I was there. Actually, was Bob Crane. You remember that guy?
Yeah, the sex fiend.
Yeah, the Hogan's Hero sex fiend.
Yeah.
That guy. This was his partner on the radio station that he worked at in Hollywood back in the late 50s and early 60s.
KLX.
Is that what it was? I don't know.
I think it was KLX.
Yeah. And so
What was the award you got for being older than that station?
Huh?
Nothing.
Nothing. I can't hear. My hearing is not as good as it used to be.
Turn that 8 up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, okay. I might have to change the battery in it. And please don't tell everybody that whenever I go into these stations, I'm wearing a bathrobe, I don't have any teeth in, and I'm using a cane.
You're not that. You were. I mean, when you showed up at the restaurant to eat, you were wearing a big old Gilligan's Island straw hat to go with your Gilligan's Island shirt, your white pants, and your I don't know what were you wearing? Some kind of sandals or something?
Yeah, some sandals made out of tires.
They used to be tennis shoes, but you just cut the front top off.
Yeah. Well, they actually just wore out, because I can't bend over to cut my toes. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to have to take your word for that, Scott.
Oh, and I got to tell you about Tommy Two-Tone.
Oh, please do regale us with that.
The one-hit wonder.
Yeah?
This fucker calls me up. He can't make it to a gig in Columbus.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he gets me to buy his freaking plane tickets for him and his wife.
Now how did he get you to do that?
He pulled the friendship card on me.
Well, is he broke?
He's broke.
Oh, nice.
He's broke.
Okay.
So I buy him tickets, to get him from, I think it was Nashville to Columbus. He even went down and no, I didn't have to pick him up. The people at the gig picked him up, but we met him at the gig with a video truck and everything, and recorded his show. And it was horrible. The band that he played with was bad. The sound was bad. And then when it was all over, we went back to Cambridge, Ohio, halfway between Cleveland and Columbus. I didn't think this guy was ever going to leave.
Okay.
I finally had to just load him up in the car and take him to the airport and dump him out at the doorstep.
Wow. Well, he's maybe taking tips from the Snake Man.
Maybe. I forgot about the Snake Man.
How could you forget about the Snake Man, Scott?
Well, it took a lot of work, but I did.
It's called senility, Neely, senility.
Yeah, I guess.
And, Two-Tone was supposed to host some big show at there's some famous bar in Nashville, and I can't even remember the name of it.
Is it Crappy's Warehouse?
What is it?
Crappy's Warehouse?
No. Some big, it's some famous place in Nashville. And lo and behold, guess who he ran into walking down Church Street in Nashville?
Who?
Sister Bertha Bangers.
Jeez.
So the two of them are running around together now. The careers are set to go right through the roof.
Right. So what was Bertha Bangers doing in Nashville?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I could figure out, but I have to be careful what I say because, she gets all pissed off if I say the wrong thing on your show. She listens. She's probably listening right now.
Well, she has a tendency to drop us a line on the MySpace now and again.
And didn't she drunk call like a month ago or something?
It could have been. I don't know.
Sounded like her.
And she gets real mad at me because one of the shows that I talked to you on, I said it was a he, a she, an it. Oh, let's just call it a shit.
Right.
And Bertha Bangers was very offended by that. I don't know why. I can't imagine why. Pissed her off.
Well, she said
she didn't want to be my friend anymore.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah. But if I say something bad about you guys, you're still friendly with me.
That's because we can dish it out and we can take it.
Well,
we suck.
You can dish it better than you can take it.
Oh,
it's
we
hard
can
to
take
keep
it.
up with you guys. I wouldn't even attempt to go toe-to-toe with you.
Nope.
Oh, Neely, cut that for a clip for the beginning of the show next
Right.
week. All right,
So-
Scott, let's get to the real here. You're boring me here.
Okay.
What exactly is going on with the Rocket, and how does it involve the Mighty Classic Metal Show?
Well, I've come back to the Rocket, and of course, you and I talked yesterday. The place has just fallen apart. It has lost all of its listeners. Well, not all of them, but a vast majority of them. Those guys turned it into, quote, Enid's racing station,
Ugh.
and I have no idea what that means.
Ugh.
And I basically just walked in, I think it was last Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah, last week, yeah.
Yeah, last week, unannounced, and said, hello, I'm back, and you're out.
Did that work?
Yes.
And did they shake in their boots? Did they douse their pants at the sight of the mighty Scott Clark walking in and saying, I'm back and you're out?
Yes,
Wow.
they sure did.
Wow. Well, that's impressive.
And I'm back, and Anita's back with me. You know, Grandma and Grandpa Rock are back on the air. We're doing afternoons. Basically, I'm having to rebuild the station and redo the music. Thank God there's a lot of good music out there now. And it doesn't sound like a jukebox anymore. Well, yeah, it still does because I haven't got everything fixed. Chris, you know, you and I were talking about just yesterday about some of the technical problems that I've been dealing with, but I've been
Sure.
working through those and getting, better music up on the stream and on the air both.
I don't know. I was digging those 6 rock blocks of the Monkees. That was good stuff.
Yeah, that was, wasn't it? That really thrilled me. I really love to hear, that Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart. I wonder what she's doing tonight.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna
And all the
stretch
Beach
it out
Boys
here
music.
midday afternoon with an hour of bread.
Oh yeah, doesn't that sound good? David Gates and bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a Rupert Holmes weekend here at your racing station.
That's only if you like pina coladas.
That's right. Does he
I
have
like
another
the Gary
song?
Glitter Hour. It's for all the kids.
Right.
Jesus.
I beat you to that one, didn't I, Chris?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I finally got one up on you.
Yeah. I've never seen Scott mad, Chris, but when he walked back into the Rocket and saw the damage that was done and all the vendors he'd have to call in to fix the thing up,
Yeah.
people were asking Scott what he was so upset about.
Yeah.
And I had a secret microphone there in the studio. And,
Oh, yeah?
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
And then I was able to capture some audio.
Yeah, what did he say?
They were just like, Scott, why are you so upset?
I'm signing checks, motherfucker!
You hit that one on the head. Did you catch any other audio?
Well,
Let's hear that again.
what? Oh yeah, your audio.
Yeah.
I'm signing checks, motherfucker!
Yeah, you got me perfect, didn't you?
Yep.
Just perfect.
And they asked.
I'd like to have your studio, Neely.
Everybody wants my studio.
Yeah. Can you just send it down to me?
Yeah, sure.
And then you guys can come, to beautiful Enid, Oklahoma and do the classic metal show.
Right.
Wait 6 months. We can have the afternoon slot when the 2 hosts die.
I think Anita's probably listening right now, too.
All right,
If
well.
she's still awake.
Well, maybe she'll outlive you. Who knows?
She probably will.
She's not as old as you, is she?
Nah, she's older than me.
She's not older than you.
Yes, she is.
Fucking A, dude. Moses isn't older than you.
Well,
Jeez.
that's true. They do call me Grandpa Rock.
They call him Methuselah.
Methuselah. Hey, is Mikey around? Has
He's
he
in-
been on yet tonight?
He's in the chat room, or he was. I'm not sure if he's in there now.
Yeah.
He's in
Mikey sends me Facebook messages and MySpace messages from time to time, and we've even interviewed him on the air about a year ago. He's a really cool kid.
Used to be, but now he's tainted as teen Mikey. Now that he's a teenager, it's not as good.
Oh, how old is he? Like 15?
13.
13?
Yep.
Yeah, that's when they start to go bad.
Yep.
Then when they hit 15, it's really bad.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Are you speaking from experience?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What? When you were 15, did they have things like radio and TV and cars and houses?
Whenever I was 15, all they had was AM radio and black and white TV.
Yeah. What color coat did you get to wear? A blue one or the red one in the Civil War?
The blue one. I was a damn Yankee.
I'm Scott,
I'm Anita,
and we're Neely's parents.
and we're listening to the Classic Metal Show.
You have to get your parents off the radio, Neely. This is embarrassing.
We tried. We tried.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. And,
fun.
you know, you guys have done shows for us a lot.
Sure.
Special shows that were just hilarious. I mean, the 4th of July last year was the best show I ever heard in my life.
The 4th was the best one. I thought Thanksgiving was pretty good.
Yeah, Thanksgiving was good, too, wasn't
We
it?
brought Robert Lamb of Chicago on.
And
Yeah.
Mikey. Didn't we bring
Yeah,
Mikey?
Mikey was co-hosting the show.
But the 4th of July was hilarious.
The 4th was good.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were all good, Scott. They're all like my children. I can't just pick one. They're just all good.
I can pick on my children.
Oh, Scott,
But
there's a
I'm not
message
going
in the
to.
chat room from Temporal72. He says, please let Scott host another takeover show.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'm dead serious. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
Well,
let's
maybe
see.
I'm
I'll have
reading
to
it
get
wrong.
I'll have to get out Rupert Holmes.
There you go.
I'll have to get out, my Davy Jones collection.
That'll be good.
I'll have to get out the Pat Boone Does Heavy Metal.
I'm in a metal mood.
That's the name of it, yeah.
Right.
And, gosh, I can't think what else. Maybe the Turtles.
That'll be good, sure.
Yeah. And the Archies. Got to have the Archies.
The Archie's great.
Yeah, Sugar.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's Scott. Host
So what
another show.
what you're saying is you're going to bring the Rocket playlist from last weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. But I know that you were listening as long as you could, and we still got to work on that stream, Chris. But
Yeah.
we have made changes already.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we've got some decent music back on there.
Well, when are you going to get the real decent music known as the Classic Metal Show back on there? We're
Well,
ready.
I wanted to have it up tonight,
Okay.
but there's been some technical problems, and I'm really, honestly looking forward to next Friday night,
All right. What time?
10 o'clock Central.
Jesus, that's the middle of the night over here, man.
That's 11 o'clock Eastern.
Can't you do a
Did
little
you hear
better
me
than
on
that?
Did
Can't
you
we
hear
get
me on the radio yesterday? I couldn't remember what time it was.
Yeah. What about noon?
Noon.
Yeah. What time are you on?
I'm on it from 3 to 6.
That's perfect
Central.
for us.
Well, that's what time do you guys even get up?
Oh, we're up if we got to be on the radio.
Yeah. I mean,
Be up whatever time.
Neely's independently wealthy,
That's right.
and Chris, I know
Isn't-
you don't go into work. You just hang around the house and answer the phone and say, "This is Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can I do for your website?"
That's right.
So, I can't figure out what time you guys get up.
Do
you
we
even get
have how many years of audio do we have, Neely?
I would say about 6.
Wow.
6. So we have 6 years of audio. Couldn't we be your morning show?
No,
Come on.
no, you'd scare everybody away.
Well, since you're on in the afternoon, Scott, who is doing your morning show?
Who is going to do my morning
Yeah,
show?
who's doing the morning show on the Rocket?
Slammin' Sam Cornette.
And where is he from?
He's the voice of the National Basketball Association. He does movie trailers. He used to be on the Bob and Tom show out of Indianapolis.
Bob and Tom, that's a quality outfit.
Is this morning show a syndicated thing, or is he doing this actually live at the Rocket?
He's going to do it live at the Rocket. He and I have been friends for years.
Yeah.
And he basically has a voiceover business that he does out of his home. Because you don't have to go in somewhere to do 30-second promos for the National Basketball Association or for the Sports Animal Radio Network or any of that stuff.
Sure.
And he wants to get back to Oklahoma himself. He worked at KATT in Oklahoma City for like 5 years, right after 2001,
Sure.
right after 9/11, and left and went back to Tennessee. And he and I have stayed in touch all this time. He's been to my home many, many times. He was there for the Tommy Two-Tone fiasco in Columbus. And he's packing his shit up and heading for beautiful Enid, America.
Yay.
Home of the Cowboys and the Indians.
So
Go ahead, Neely.
well, he's coming to Enid as his main job there to host the morning show on the Rocket.
Yeah.
Boy, that must be a pretty lucrative gig. How do I get that?
Become the voice of the NBA, I guess.
Nice.
Well, Scott, I mean, the one thing we do know about Scott Clark is that you've been all over Oklahoma, and you know everything there is to be known about Oklahoma and Oklahoma radio. What can you tell me about KDEL?
In Del City, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
What is
It's a piece of
KDEL?
shit.
We have a friend that works there,
Yeah.
Mr. Jake Rosenthal.
What is that, Scott?
It's nothing.
It's nothing? Well,
No, it's like a piece of wire stuck out of someone's second-story window of their house.
really?
Yeah, with some transmitter that they bought, overseas and had to assemble it. It has a coverage of about 2 blocks.
Really?
Okay, 3 blocks.
Well, what's the reason for its existence?
Gosh, I can't give you a reason for its existence.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stations that don't belong on the air.
Okay.
A lot of them. Like, what is it, KSBX or WSBX in Thomasville, Georgia?
Yeah, well, we already know about your little run-in with that guy.
Yeah. That's one that doesn't belong on the air.
Hey, he's got the Rocket Radio.
That's what he thinks.
Nice.
And he's good friends with Tommy Two-Tone, too.
Excellent.
That's good.
I bet he's got Sister Bertha Bangers doing afternoons. Or he's banging Sister Bertha Bangers. Oh, that'll get me an email.
Oh, that's sure.
Not from me.
Well, all right.
Bertha Bangers will hear this, and she'll just start spreading all sorts of crap about me.
Sure. All right, Scott. Well, we're glad you're back in Enid, and you're taking back over the Rocket, and you're bringing the Classic Metal Show back to the air, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and please let me plug Rock Solid Pressure.
All right.
With J-Rock and Patty the Radio Girl from Florida.
Okay.
It's not
like
the
that.
same as your show, but it's another metal show. And I was really sorry to hear about Hairball John and the Acid Chimp. That was a sad thing.
Yeah.
I miss not having the Hairball John radio show on also.
Do you?
Yeah. I do. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
The
And the Acid Chimp was hilarious himself.
The poor Acid Chimp bit the big banana.
Yeah. I just hope he didn't slip on it.
Jesus.
Let's don't make fun of the deceased, though.
We're not.
Okay?
Nobody's making fun.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, what the hell is the name of that show that I got you tickets for?
Oh, Survivor. Survivor and Dennis DeYoung. The Clays Park, what was that?
Yeah.
The Clays Park Rockfest or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Did
fun.
you have a good
Had a good time.
Did you get any interviews?
No, not a single one.
He got a couple
No.
of good pictures of a guy with a parrot on his shoulder, though.
Ooh. Cool. I also heard that, didn't you go to Detroit for something?
Bad company. I've been
Yeah.
traveling this summer. I've been out
Paul
seeing
Rogers,
shows.
huh?
Paul Rogers, you're damn right.
And the Doobie Brothers.
And the
And
Doobies.
Oh, I didn't know about the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, they opened up.
Oh, man. They're almost as big as Black Oak, Arkansas, and Foghat.
Oh, only Tony Stevens are Foghat, though.
Yeah.
Not that false Foghat with Charlie Hune on vocals.
Roger Earl on drums.
That's fake.
Yeah. You got to have Eddie Zine on drums. I mean, he's straight from Hall & Oates.
Look,
Hey,
the
you know, I
only
could
the
do a
only
Hall & Oates
Foghat I
hour.
care about is the one fronted by the replacement player for the original bassist. That's the Foghat for me, pal.
You got any other good interviews tonight?
Well, we got Carmine Apiece coming up here in about a half an hour, and we're going to be speaking to Don Donkin here later.
Ooh.
And Mark Torian of the Bullet Boys.
I don't know them.
And they only had like 3 or 4 number 1 hits.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but if it wasn't Rupert Holmes or Brad, you know, I'm lost.
Funny.
And all your listeners out there, how many you got tonight? Do you have any idea?
At least 500,000, Scott. At least
least
a half a million. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
$500,000.
Yeah, I'm always glad to talk with you guys.
Well,
and I'm really glad that you're coming back onto my network.
Well, Scott, why don't you give our fans the information where they can find the Rocket and where they can listen to the Rocket and where they'll be able to listen next week at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central to the Classic Metal Show's terrestrial return.
Well, if you and I get things worked out, they should.
it wouldn't be the same if there wasn't a hang-up involved.
That's right. Goodbye.
Nice. Oh, boy.
This are we. We did it during our own plug.
Yeah, nice. So there you are. Well, thanks, Scott. Thanks for calling in, and glad you're back in Enid.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're back in Enid.
Right, and as you put on the Facebook for the Classic Metal Show, right in the backyard of Jake Rosenthal.
That's right.
Jake Rosenthal.
Jake Rosenthal's backyard, baby.
Right.
That's where we're at.
Nice.
Yeah. I am very, man, and maybe it's stupid because I know it's Enid, Oklahoma and not, I don't know, Nashville, Tennessee or L.A. or whatever, but man, I'm just happy to be on there, man.
Sure.
I like the fact that we're there. That's our first terrestrial home after we turn the show into what it is, and I as you know, I was very unhappy when we left that place.
Right.
But now we're back.
Right.
So there it is. Next week, they'll get a brand new show from us.
Yay. Perfect. Thanks for checking out the Best of the Classic Metal Show. You can tune into the Classic Metal Show live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com.
The Classic Metal Show.